Hello, my friends. It's time for the Big Toe Sports Show. That was Easy Lover by Phil Collins. Now it's time to talk about what's the NBA trade deadline and what else has gone on in the time since. We talked about the biggest trade already that's happened in the National Basketball Association. Now let's talk about the biggest trade that didn't happen. It didn't happen last year. It didn't happen the year before, but it's been talked about for quite some time now. And that is the Boston Celtics and Rajon Rondo, and why they simply just won't trade him or they don't want him. Bleacher Report in particular has an article that references Baxter Holmes, who is a reporter for the Boston Globe, says that Danny Ainge, who is the president of basketball operations, said that we are not trying to trade Rondo in any way, shape, or form. Most of the rumors out there are completely false. And I can understand the reason for that. One, because Rajon Rondo is one of the better players in the NBA, and he's a guy that you'd want to build your team around, especially if you've got a young team like the Celtics. But also because of the fact that they're gonna ask a pretty high price for him, which probably includes somewhere along the lines of two first-round picks and a three-way trade in this year's draft. Now, if you were to get two excellent players from this year's draft and were to do that, that would be an excellent trade. But for the most part, they're trying to avoid trading Rajon Rondo. At least the Boston Celtics are, and for good reason too. In my personal opinion, I've been on the boat for keeping Rondo on the team for a long time. You see Rondo. There's only a few bona fide excellent point guards in this league, and what I mean by that is somebody that you can invest your team into every single day. The guy who you want to have the ball all the time, and that people like that include people like that include Rajon Rondo, Chris Paul. A couple of years ago it was Darren Williams. It's not anymore. Tony Parker. These guys are people. Steve Nash. These are guys that you want to have the ball all the time, because they're the people that are going to make your offense go. And they're people that you're just comfortable having around. And there's not that many other people in the league that you can really trust to do that. When I say that, I mean like to get assists, get teammates involved with the game, as well as put it in the hole whenever they need to. It just is something that's just not so common in the NBA. So I'm a big fan of holding on to Rondo and trying to build a team around him. In fact, if you had to choose that person to build your team around, Durant would probably be the best one, Kevin Durant, or LeBron James, of course, would. But I mean, if you're looking towards the future, Rajon Rondo is an excellent pick. That's somebody that you'd want all the time. The guy can make fantastic plays. So I'm a big fan with the Celtics not trading him. Of course, if they chose to trade him and got got two first-round picks for it, certainly wouldn't be a problem with that. He's an excellent player, and he's probably worth that price, no matter how good these guys are. But the big question right now is, why doesn't it happen? And I think that's a pretty simple ordeal. He's just that good. There was talk about the fact that Sacramento had been trying to trade guard Isaiah Thomas from the University of Washington, and Ben McLemore, Mick Lemore. I pronounced this wrong. Apologize for that. He was in the dunk contest just a little bit ago, and he was okay. He was fun to watch, but the fact that he was chosen for the dunk contest shows that he probably has some talent that could help the team. And of course, Isaiah Thomas is a good solid player. So that probably would have been a good trade. But what happened was that Rondo said he wouldn't want to re-sign with Sacramento, and so Sacramento didn't feel like it was worth trading away two of their better young players to get a guy that might not be there next year. So the whole Rondo situation is a little bit confusing, but it's fun to speculate about and to think about, and to hope that Rondo goes to a team that they could put. I think that any team that Rondo gets on is going to be helped significantly. The Celtics are already a pretty decent team, and certainly will be in the next several years if they choose to keep Rondo, but they could certainly capitalize on it. But again, the biggest trade that's supposed to happen, it's not the biggest thing at all. It's not going to be a problem. It's not even something that's really relevant in the world of sports, because it just won't happen for several years. It's been going on for or when I say it, of course I mean trade speculations have been going on for years, and it just isn't completely. It's not really something that people are willing to do. Danny Ainge isn't willing to pull the trigger on it. So what do? You got to do what you got to do, and the sports world is the sports world is at a loss until Rondo gets traded or until the Celtics start making some big news. So that's what happened with the Rajon Rondo story. And we'll talk a little bit more. I think we'll conclude the NBA trade talks with that. Now let's talk about the United States and Canada and the Winter Olympics, the biggest event that has gone on in the United States, or at least some of the biggest stories for the United States has been some of the biggest stories in the United States have been the hockey team, of course, which remember Oshie just a couple of weeks ago, or maybe I think it was just even last week, put a goal in a shootout against Russia, against the hometown Russians, and scared the heebie-jeebies out of the Russians, and put the United States in the quarterfinals, where they just beat Slovenia, and put themselves in a position to go to the semis, and then go to the finals. But pretty much the Canadian defense shut them down. Oshie didn't make a goal. Nobody made a goal. The final score is 1-0. And now the United States is going to unfortunately have to play in the bronze medal game. And what's so interesting is that last night the same thing happened to the women. So unfortunately, it looks like Canada's got our number when it comes to the Olympic winter sports, and particularly the hockey, particularly in hockey. Especially when you consider what happened in Vancouver when Sidney Crosby beat the United States on a golden goal to win the gold medal. The United States is going to have to step it up for the next 4 years, which I don't even know off the top of my head where the next gold medal, where the next Olympics is going to be for the Winter Olympics. Regardless, the United States is going to have to either get some citizenship rights to Alexander Ovechkin, or Sidney Crosby, or people that are going over to Russia or to Canada. They're gonna have to do something special about that, because the Americans unfortunately just can't get over the Canadian hump in women's and men's hockey. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But of course, the Olympics is not restricted totally to hockey. We have a ton of other events that are really popular right now, including the slalom gold medal just went to Michaela Schifrin. She's an 18-year-old alpine skier, and she just broke a record for the youngest woman in Olympic history to win a gold medal in the event. So that's something that's really encouraging. It says ESPN reports that she was 53 seconds faster than the field in finishing her time, and she even did that with a few mid-round just tricks in the air. Apparently, I didn't see the event itself, but I mean, I'm sure it will be on later tonight or for just a quick recap. She apparently just dominated, which is always good to see. It's always nice to see the Americans do something special. It's just fun to see them do something special. It says that she raced against some of her childhood favorites in the race, including I cannot pronounce this name, the Austrian veteran. Her name is Marlies Schild, who was one of her childhood favorites. And it's cool. I mean, it's cool for young athletes to just come into the Olympics and win their first medal. So the Olympics are going good for the United States of America. I mean, of course, with hockey, of course I say that in retrospect to hockey, and I apologize for any U.S. hockey players that are listening to this broadcast, which again I significantly doubt. I apologize for just saying, trash talking you guys for a little bit, but you guys will play in the bronze medal game, and hopefully you guys will get a shot at doing that. The medal count, which I haven't looked up lately, I think the United States is winning right now in the medal count in terms of overall medals. And I think in gold medals too. I think they're tied with the Netherlands and Russia for overall medals. So that's always nice to hear. Oh, in fact, I got it right here. Okay, United States has 77 medals. Canada has 77 medals. Russia has 77 medals. Okay, and the gold is Norway's holding it with 10. Canada with 9. Russia with 9. Okay, so the United States isn't even in the medal count, but we do have the most bronze medals, which is always nice to have as well. So anyway, with all that into account, the Olympics are going good for the United States of America. If you get the chance to, don't be afraid to turn it on. I don't really hear a lot of Olympic talk either on sports radio or by individual people. It just is almost seeming like Sochi's just going on without anything really significant. I mean, not anything significant, but anything noteworthy or popular happening. So, just a quick encouragement: turn on the Olympics and let's watch it, and maybe we'll get this campus talking about a little bit more than the University of Arkansas. All right. So, with all that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to music for about 5 to 10 minutes, and let you guys enjoy, whatever songs I guess come up on my little playlist. So enjoy yourselves, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit.